So I was asked to speak on Guru Purnima, but any suggestions are welcome about what to speak about. So you see, what I realized in my 10 years association with my Guru was whenever I would meet him, he just wanted to know about how his teaching impacted daily living. He had no other interest as such. He would ask, how was work this week? What happened? What situations came up? How did you deal with them? He was very keen to know whether one was just going to him and absorbing at a superficial level or whether it was translating into daily living. I think that was his radar because he had seen seekers from all over the world come to him. But he wanted to see who was living the teaching. That was paramount. Now, I came across various masters, teachers, yogis, and I found that there was a disconnect in people. They had all the prem, the bhakti for their master, but in daily living, it was as if it was separate. Their relationships, all their baggage they were carrying was somehow not connected to the master and the master's teaching. So whether it was a Kriya Yoga practice or whatever, that was there. I'm a great practitioner. I do my sadhana. But when it came to daily living, dealing with situations, dealing with people, that I was not seeing in many cases that translation. And for me, the beauty is that that became the measure that my devotion to my guru, my absorbing his teaching, in what way was it impacting my life? So I think on Guru Purnima, this question has to be asked because for me, any guru, the greatest gift they can receive is a student who has absorbed and assimilated what they have been saying, what they have been pointing to. So sadhana, which is like in the eight spiritual breaths, is a breathwork practice. Along with that is that whole body of affirmations. Now, unless that is being lived, so one is not just reciting the affirmations unconsciously as just part of the sadhana, and there's no translation in daily living, then one does not bear the fruits of any practice. So I would say this, it's very simple that if we are practicing a sadhana, the breaths, the affirmations, it is bound to impact our daily living. But if we find we are not changing our attitude to life, our attitude to people, our attitude to circumstances we face, then there is perhaps some fragmentation in the practice. Now I was gifted with discipline. Discipline came to me very easily. So if I have to wake up at 4:30 a.m., I put the alarm, I wake up. So when I used to hear people saying they don't have time for the practice, not just this practice, I've been in many sanghas. Oh, life took over. I could not do this. I could not. I would say, but what is the connection? If you have allotted a certain time for your sadhana, how can life take over that time segment? Then I realized that not everyone is disciplined. Everyone has their own nature. But I also realized that the spiritual dimension, the spiritual sadhana, seems to be only one aspect of their life. They are consumed by all the other aspects. And in being consumed by other aspects, the one which is easiest to drop is the spiritual practice. That is what I saw. That people are so involved in the rough and tumble of daily living that this dimension, this opportunity is kind of kept aside because it is the one which is simplest to keep aside. So I think that the only display of true love for a guru, one is bhakti, devotion. We did it in different ways for my teacher. I helped him edit some of his books, publish them for him. Some affluent devotees gave huge donations to him. So people express their love for the guru depending on their capacity and their nature. But the guru was only concerned, no matter what was given to him, as your life become more peaceful than it was before you came here. And he would often quote the Buddha and say, Samsara is dukkha, nirvana is shanti, and they are not two. Peace has to be found through the samsara. Now, I have practiced the breaths for decades, I think. And I had fortunately no trouble practicing them. So I used to get astonished when I heard breath number 2, this happened to me, breath number 4, that happened to me. So I would tell my mother that maybe I have no kundalini only, because nothing happens to me. But when I read that the experiences people have had, I was astounded at the power of the breaths. That these breaths, someone I remember wrote that when they practiced the sixth breath, they used to fall or something like that. And I realized that is actually the power of the breath. Fortunately, I didn't experience all that. When I had to memorize the affirmations, it was not a struggle. I guess in school I was memorizing history chapters, geography chapters. So it was there was no obstacle towards memorizing the affirmations. So fortunately for me, it kind of came into my DNA, the breath work, the affirmations, and there was no conflict between my daily life and what the affirmations were saying. So I think that is all I want to share, that if you are following any master, following that master means having that master 24/7 in your mind and heart. Now, for me, what it was any situation I faced in life, I started seeing it in the light of what he said. When I was very new on the path, 30 years old, and it was a very crucial day for my advertising business. A huge ad campaign was planned, and last minute, I'll never forget, the client called and said, I'm pulling it out. And I was so disappointed, so disheartened. I was broken because my agency, the survival depended on that campaign. And suddenly my guru's face and words came, thy will be done. So I realized I had internalized the message. It had everything in life, each and every happening, relative, friend, colleague, stranger on the road, or each and every situation that came up, this reflection started happening in light of the Guru's teaching. And I would say the way I have reacted or responded, would my Guru have reacted or responded the same way? By and by, I realized that the Guru's teachings have been now taken to heart. That is what he would say. One is you accept it at the level of the mind, but when it is being lived, it is lived through the heart. Then you know the transformation has taken place. So that is what I have to share, that I don't believe a practice is just a sadhana. I believe a practice is 24/7. Whether you had a bad day or you had a good day is actually not relevant anymore, because there will be good days, there will be bad days. But a constant remembrance of this new way of being, which has been revealed by the Guru, that is the role of the Guru. According to me, the role of the Guru is to erase the grooves of past conditioning and create new grooves. And in this practice, all the tools are given, but the work has to be done. And that work is not done only for the duration of the practice, but throughout the day. Then one can say, yes, I am living not only the master's teaching, but the parampara's teaching. The entire lineage of masters, it's all connected. See, the Sufis actually have a role. The living Sufi master you meet, his job is to connect you to three masters above him. That is in the Sufi way. So you get the blessings of the lineage. So any practice which is being conducted by oneself with sincerity, earnestness, and devotion, we are connected to the parampara automatically, the lineage. I have also heard a few disciples say that they've had visions of the nameless master, they've had visions of Edwin John Dingle, who've come to them. I have not had that good fortune, but that proves my point that the parampara is standing above the master you are bowing down to. That is basically it. As far as my mother is concerned, it's very interesting because when my horoscope used to be read earlier, some people would say, some astrologers would say that your mother was your guru in your past life. One message I got from an author we published who used to communicate with her son in the other realm. She sent me a message when I didn't even know her. I've written about this in my book. Her son in the other realm has sent a message for me saying that you and your mother have been here lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes. So I'm very fortunate. I think I was telling this to someone recently that in this house, I have not experienced conflict ever. It has been just the grace of a guru who has been just listening, giving advice only when asked for, and never saying no to anything. This is what I was very fortunate to imbibe. This became my default setting until someone told me, look here, Everyone's mother is not like your mother. Because I assumed it. I assumed it in my teenage years that everyone's mother was like that because that is what I knew. And I remember there was this Italian, he was in his 50s at the time, he had come to my guru. And this whole Mother's Day thing had started, and we were driving from my guru's home to Taj Shamiana for brunch. So I told him, I said, Daniel, you're a millionaire, you have all the money in the world. What are you going to gift your mother? He said, I know what I'm going to gift her. I'm going to gift her a bomb. I said, are you joking? He said, I'm not joking. He said, I hate my mother. I was shocked that this too is there. This too is possible. This hate, this disconnect, it was astounding. And so I realized that one has to be with a living embodiment of the teaching. That is the opportunity the Guru provides. The Guru just offers the space. The flower just offers itself, its nature. Nothing else is on offer. And it is up to us to take what we can from that. Guru ultimately is a way of being, as far as my understanding goes. It is ultimately a way of being. There was this Sufi mystic called Bhai Sahib. He passed away in the 60s. There's a Russian disciple who once asked him this question that my friend so and so who's in Italy, she's a solid student of yours, but long distance. She's there, you are here in Kanpur. Now I am with you. Is there any difference between someone who is staying long distance away from you and someone who is staying in your presence? He said, as far as the Guru is concerned, there's no difference, but one. He said, when you are away from the Guru, you have the opportunity of becoming the perfect disciple. And when you are in the field of the Guru, you have the opportunity of becoming a master. So I really kind of am envious of the era of Ramana Maharshi, Sri Aurobindo, when so many people moved to be around them, because just by absorption, osmosis, being in their presence, they gained so much. They reached such great heights. And my own journey also, I needed a guru. So I feel a guru, a physical presence of a guru is definitely helpful for spiritual evolution. Thank you.